Yo, what's up YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I'm back with another good video for y'all today. I wanted to make this video to talk about my final prediction on Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas, of how I see this fight going. So yeah, let's get right to it. I wanted to basically state that Errol Spence and Ugas is probably one of the best fights in the welterweight division. Um, Honestly, I think how this fight is gonna go is not gonna be like the fight that people think that it's gonna go. Um, I mean, honestly, I think that this fight will be a very, very difficult fight to tell or to call, and I think at the end of the day, I think it's pretty safe to say that Errol Spence, he's at the point of his career where he's in kill season. I think we have not seen the best out of Errol Spence, and this is going to be the most dangerous version that we're going to see coming into this fight. The fight is 2 weeks away, and I find it very interesting that Errol Spence and Ugas is right around the corner, because my birthday is coming up in 3 weeks. So well, actually no, make it 4 weeks. I'm sorry, but in 3 weeks' time, after I'm done with work, I'll have that whole week off, and I'll be celebrating my birthday over at the Madison Square Garden for Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. So I'm definitely going to make a video about that, and I'm definitely going to be making a lot of video coverage that day. I'll probably even go live, for the fights. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much it for what I have to say on that note. But let's just move back forward to the Errol Spence situation. I think this fight is definitely going to be one of those fights where we don't know what's going to happen. Errol Spence has said on multiple occasions that he wants to be undisputed at the welterweight division, and obviously that got put to a halt when he had his car accident a few years back, and sadly things just didn't go his way. After the accident, he had the fight with Danny Garcia, and obviously that fight itself was a good fight for him to come back in. But at the same token, Errol Spence, he had his situations going on after the fact that he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao this past August of last year. And unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition because of the eye injury. So that wasn't the type of mindset that Errol Spence wanted, where he had to sit out for well over almost like 2 years, if we're gonna be exact, because EJ, he hasn't been back in the ring since like what, January. So yeah, he's basically been out the ring for like 2 years, if we're gonna be honest, because like this is terrible, but you really can't put the blame on him. Errol Spence has been inactive simply due to the fact that well, actually no, yeah, he's been out the ring since of December. So he's been out the ring since, yeah, basically like 2 years ago. So that's really, really crazy how time flies, because he's like what, 32 years old, and he would have been way more accomplished in his career if he wasn't held back with the injuries. Because prior to the Danny Garcia fight, I mean, he was 30 years old and he had everything set in stone. But obviously, time flies, and he's not able to do the things he wanted to do. And here we are seeing a Errol Spence primed and ready come April 16th, where this is a 32-year-old version of him, and I just don't know what to really expect out of him. But I personally think that this is going to be one of the most biggest fights in the welterweight division, where You don't know what's going to happen. Errol Spence is known for what he is known for. He's a very dangerous fighter. If you definitely fuck around and let him, just take control of a fight and he figures you out from round 1 all the way to round 12, he will absolutely stop you, or he will obliterate you to the point where you don't have any breathing room to think about making any proper adjustments. And Errol Spence, he's just that type of guy where when he sees opportunities to kill you, to any weakness that you possess, he makes everything more difficult as the fight goes on. So how I see this fight going down is I think Errol Spence is going to stop Ugas. How I see this fight playing out is that Errol Spence is going to do the same thing like he did to, I probably say Mikey Garcia in a way, because Ugas, he's just a come forward guy. He doesn't do anything but just sit inside the pocket with you. I don't think Ugas has good enough feet to actually keep away from Errol Spence. And the only thing that Errol Spence needs to do is cut off the ring and just attack the body, which he is very tremendous doing that. And I think what the thing is that with EJ is that when you let him get into his rhythm, it's just game over from that point on. Errol Spence has proven that you cannot outbox him in a fight. So the only way you ever beat him is that you have to outdog him, and that's something that no fighter in the welterweight division has been able to do. Even with his toughest fight out of his entire resume, which would be Kell Brook, that fight alone was by far one of the most hardest fights for him, and he was able to outdog Kell Brook and beat the living crap out of him, leading to an 11th round TKO victory or KO victory. But either way, Errol Spence did what he said that he was going to do. He's going to come into the welterweight division and he's going to just basically steamroll everyone. And that's what I like out of him. I respect that out of him. He's a very, very good, heavily talented fighter. And everything that he's shown in the ring, I give him nothing but credibility and respect. And I think everything that he's shown in boxing is that when you disregard his accomplishments in the sport, that makes him more hungrier and makes him look a lot more dangerous in a actual fight. So how I see this fight going down is that I think Errol Spence is going to break Ugas down mechanically, and it's just going to be a very, very deadly fight for Ugas. I don't think Ugas understands how much pressure he has on himself because he's never been in the ring with a guy like Errol. Even with the most decorated southpaws that he's been in the ring with, I don't think he's ever faced anybody to the level of Errol Spence. Even with his last southpaw that I believe he fought was who? He fought fucking Ray Robinson. He's nowhere near Errol Spence. Well, actually, no, he fought Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry, but Manny Pacquiao, was touching up Ugas a lot in that fight, and that fight alone just made it clear to show that Ugas, he doesn't scale well, against southpaws, and he doesn't seem to be that type of guy where he's gonna have that much, success to actually hurt southpaws. And I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, if you leave Ugas alone in a fight where he has multiple opportunities to hurt you and stun you, he does have the power to give you, some actual, danger with his punches, where he could actually do a lot of he could deal a lot of damage to you. But that's more of a volume puncher type of guy or type of fighter. Versus with Errol Spence, he has more of a detrimental type of power where it makes it more difficult to keep him away from you. And I just don't see how Ugas is going to scale well against that. But my final prediction on this is that I think Errol is going to kill him to the body, because Ugas, he's very vulnerable to the body. And I think what he's going to do late game is that he's going to stop him with a crazy body shot, and it's going to be a massive uppercut that's going to kill Ugas with a very devastating blow. So my final prediction on this is that I have Errol Spence by KO. I would probably predict it in the 10th round of that fight, if not earlier. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, and I'm out, guys. Bye.